my first impression when I see you? Do I look at you? Do I see you? Am I aware of you? If I'm at a cashier, waiter, waitress, somebody comes to the table, meet somebody, just because most people don't really care about anybody around them. They only care about themselves. So how do we get from one stage of a relationship to another stage? Well, nobody cares about this, do they? Well, they might. I'll be right back. Hello, I'm Ed Montgomery. Welcome to Vintage Wisdom. Vintage Wisdom, of course, is about this new fresh wine, a new type of spirituality, a new type of way of looking at ancient texts and looking at things that are around us and how they connect with life. This is what it's all about. And so take a moment and hit the comment button or your comments. Let us know where you are, where you're watching from, and hit the share. Share means we care. Care about somebody that you're sharing with. Don't just hit share with anybody. And also hit that like button. That like button changes the algorithms, and hit it now early, fast, so that others, if you're watching, keep hitting it. I'll remind you later. And of course, subscribe. Let us know that you are watching. If you're watching this by a recording, do the same identical thing. Comment, subscribe, hit the algorithms. It's not just for people who are watching live, but also people who are watching by rebroadcast. Now, last week, we got into this thing concerning, I don't want to say love, but I could say love, but I don't think people care too much about finding somebody else to love, but I think they do care about who loves them. Who is loving me? Well, that old song used to say, I wonder who's loving you. And the guy was thinking about his girlfriend, but who loves me? How is this thing being returned to me? Because of some of the stuff that's going on out in this world right now is a monster. You don't know who cares about you, who loves you, who wants to be around you, who doesn't, who's smiling in your face all the time. They're trying to take your place, the backstabbers. I'm sorry. Some of the OJs got in me because I'm from the same hometown as many of them used to sing in Cleveland, Ohio. But I learned that last week we talked about that first level. You don't even, you can't even fall in love or get to love unless you go through several steps. Love is not even in the picture unless you go through several steps. Remember now, we're living in America. And living in America means you meet somebody, you make eye contact, the music swells, ooh, and all of a sudden you see them in slow motion and you feel that you have fallen in love at what? First sight. No such thing. You might have been attracted to them at first sight. You might have been drawn to them at first sight. There might have been a chemical reaction in your body at first sight. But love at first sight, there are people that would say, I fell in love at first sight. And we've been together for the last 30 years. So we fell in love at first sight. Well, you can look back and tell that kind of story. But in the beginning, basically a chemical reaction. I'm drawn to you, you're drawn to me. Love takes time to develop. And we found out before you could even get to that stage, the first thing is to be able to see. Number one, see me and I see you. That see means to become aware of me and I become aware of you. Hey, go back to the last Vintage Wisdom and you can see love, see, love, see. You can see love means awareness. Now, the second thing, before you can get to love, is how people feel about you. Suppose you meet someone and you see each other and you catch a glance, okay. Maybe you're a waiter or waitress at a table, you see, this is not a love relationship, but you just become aware of someone. I always tell people, take a moment, take the time to ask somebody, how are you? where are you from, or maybe how long you've been working here, or any little thing, doesn't matter. Make some type of interaction. Let people know that you see them. You say, but how does that help me? Because of course we understand that people are are basically really very, very selfish. That is not that's not, you know, you don't have a very nice attitude about human nature. No, most people are only thinking about themselves. Why? Because their lives are going around it. All they care about is what's happening in their lives, because they got to live. They got to make this thing work. It's not that they don't like you. They just can't think about you all day long. They have to think about themselves and what's going on in their own lives, their own families, their own homes. But take a moment, number one, and become aware of the people that are around you. Take 60 seconds, 90 seconds. You'd be surprised. You'll never know who you run into or what the connections you may make. The next level, I call it number 2, is tolerate. You can't love anybody until most people finally, secondly, just tolerate who you are. They've seen you. And now maybe you work in the same company that they work in now. You work, their desk is next to yours. They may not care anything about you, but they tolerate you. Racially, this is what's happening in our country. We're just tolerating each other. Smile. But I don't really want to be around you. I think you're less than me. I think this is my country. This is not your country. I think God gave me this country. I am spiritually superior. Therefore, I'm just tolerating you being here. As long as you stay in your place, we'll be fine. Tolerate. That's cold. But it's a level that people do relate on. Now, a person may just tolerate you. That doesn't mean you're going to go out of your way to do any more for them. You may. It's according to what kind of person you are. But you must realize that everybody is not sitting around enjoying your presence. No. And just because they love Jesus and sit up in church next to you and clap their hands and raise their hands and close their eyes and pray does not mean that they love you. There are people who just tolerate you. They will sit in church with you every single Sunday. You might be in an interracial church and they will sit there every single Sunday, but they will never ask you out to lunch or to go with them after church dinner, to the after church dinner. Because there are people with their preconceived notions who just tolerate you. When you come to understand that, you will learn not to waste your time on those who just tolerate you. You are not looking to develop a relationship with those who just tolerate you. You're not looking to develop a relationship with a girl who just tolerates you being around. Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah, well, we have to work together, so we might as well just... You're not looking for a guy who just tolerates you. You're a nice girl and everything. Maybe we can you want to go out and, I go out with a lot of different people and whatever it is, they may not say it, but you can feel that attitude and they just tolerate you. You just happen to be someone that they're kicking it with. Time. Throwing a little time around until they find something else to do or someone else to be with. Well, I got news for you. You can do better than people who tolerate you. You are looking for those who are looking for you. Don't waste your time just being someone that someone else tolerates. Keep looking. Keep looking. Take a moment. Hit that text to give button, 713-742-2035, or go to myalc.org myalc.org. Give right now. I can actually see it. It'll be. I may not see it now, but it'll when I get to the place that I can, blow the letters up and look at them. I can see who has given, who's connecting with us. Share this with somebody who's just being tolerated so that they can move on to the next level. And I'll talk about that next level. Next level next week, next level next week, next level next week. Let me break in here for a second. I want to tell you a little secret. There is something I used to do. It was commodity trading. And they used to have something on the list called winter wheat. I never knew what it was, never paid any attention to it because in my northern background, all I saw in the winter was hard ground, snow. How could anything grow? Well, I learned different. I learned that winter wheat was something that was planted around the fall, around September, October. And when it was planted, they didn't just throw the seed out there on the ground. Of course, it would be too hard. But they drilled down into the earth and almost like planted them one by one. Now, when the snow came and the winter came, it would go dormant. But when the spring came, it would come up again. And they would harvest it around that time. Winter wheat. In other words, there are things in our lives that we plant in times when people think they won't grow. There's a number 9 that I believe symbolizes finality. It symbolizes harvest. It symbolizes the end of something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, you start all over again. This is 2024. 2, 2, 4 equals 8, new beginnings. But watch this. You can plant during the new beginnings, but you can't eat the harvest until later. When you plant something, it takes time. Sometimes it's dormant. Sometimes there's a winter. Sometimes you feel like everything is shut down, just like the earth is shut down in the winter. But you know what? Spring is coming. A different kind of growth is about to take place. So what you thought was not going to happen is going to happen. It's a seed that you plant in the earth. The seed and the need. The need is in the seed and the seed is in the need. So whatever it is that you need and whatever needs you see around you, plant it. It might be $9.90. It might be, for those of you who have it, and people have it, it might be $90.90, or it might be $99.90, whatever. Put a 9 in that offering. It might just be $9. Whatever it is, take the time. Plant it now. You can call the number. You can text to give. People love it. 713-742-2035. That's 713-742-2035. Or you can go to myalc.org. I love myalc.org. It's safe. It's secure. And you can hit that donate button, smash it, crash it, hit it. Let it be known that you're there. And you will see how to do it. Look, there are a lot of needs around in this world. There's going to be a lot of issues coming up. It's going to look like everything is lying dormant. But remember, if you put your seed in the ground, it's already coming up while you're not thinking about it. In the wintertime, it's not the heat from the sun outside that will grow this seed. Guess what? It's going to be the warmth of the sun inside that will make this seed come to life. It's going to be a warmth, like warm oil inside of you. Give, you'll feel it, and it will make a difference not only in the lives of others, but also in your life. All right? We love you. Stay blessed. Hey, Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit that subscribe button, smash it, crash it. Let us know you're there.